typically a Yak 5s, 3s or 5s. They've got a quality of 2 compared to the 109s of 3. So the Yak 5s are hitting a 109 for a step on a 1 or a 2, but they're being hit for a step on a 1, 2, 3 or 4. They can still do a pilot recovery because they've been hit on over a friendly hex, but now they haven't got through to the bombers, and the loss ratio is going to be more in the favour of the Germans. So I think it still works. I have to see, but I think it's okay. And I think there must be about over 30 counters, air counters, removed from the game now, and it's just a nicer feel. There's just turns play quicker. There's not air bases everywhere. You're not just spending economic points just getting all your air back, which didn't seem that realistic. You could just produce almost an infinite number of air steps, limited only by your economic points and nothing else. I think the finite resource builds in the sort of factory capacity, which just feels right. So I'm going to push on with it. The Germans, I think, need to make something happen now in I guess case blue, but they haven't suffered too badly in the winter, but they need to start to hurt the Russians big time now. Otherwise it could be a long war for the Axis. Right, a bit of footage and then we're done. Okay, so Russia. You'll see that the Germans have actually landed in Helsinki, and they've got a Army Group B is there with about 3 German corps. They're going to start pushing on the other side of Leningrad. The front line is like this. Not as much progress as we would like. Minsk fell. We haven't really even got to Smolensk, so I'm behind the curve there definitely. Must do better. You'll see that all looks very much the same. Down in Greece, the British have pushed into Vichy, or at least into Tunisia, and the role was that the forces there would fight until the last, so they've got to actually now take Bizerte to conquer. Once they've done that, they have moved up some hurricanes which are base hopping along the Mediterranean coast, and once they take up position they'll start to dominate the airspace between Bizerte and Sicily, so that'll be interesting. There is an American task force with a couple of carriers in it, which will be going down to join the troops in Africa. Hopefully it will be a viable threat to invade Sicily in hopefully in 42. And you can see the disposition of the U-boats along the convoy routes. The Arctic convoy routes are currently closed, but the Lend-Lease will probably start kicking quite soon, and that will mean that land-based air will be able to affect that. So there's a very useful Junker 88 based in Narvik, which is trying to sort out these British submarines on this side of Narvik, and on the other side, in the warmer weather, the iron ore goes down the blue route, but that can be reached by Russian submarines out of Leningrad, so that's quite interesting. So there you go. Really, I mean, it's a great game. I just wish I could play it with someone else as well. You know, the sort of more the merrier, really. But it's going to be solo for a while, I suspect. Hope that was interesting.